We keep you informed all day long with the best radio programming. From the morning crossfire with Sheriff to What's Up Lagos with Collins, Teke. And at noon, it's the sunny side with Joyce. Let's talk hard facts with Sandra Ezekwesili.
I will present a story the way that it was presented.
Femi and the gang bring the game on with day-by-day accounts of magnificent moments in the world of football. And we also keep it live and dangerous with Daddy Freeze. And finally, the chat station. All for your listening pleasure. Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is The Portal. On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Christmas is here and we wanted you to feel a little bit of the season right here on the station. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the nation's number one talk station, is what you're tuning to. I'm Oniniechi Ekumankama and this is The Portal. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. we bring to you an opportunity in partnership with LSETF, that is the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, to educate and even give you some priceless opportunities at literally no cost. Most times you just have to be a Lagos resident, tax-paying one, and you qualify for these things if you're within the age bracket that the particular opportunity being brought is applicable. Today we're discussing something that's going to be of benefit to anyone and everyone, Lagos or not Lagos resident, so long as you're into business or you have plans of maybe starting your own one day, or even as an employee. This is definitely something that can and will help you. Today we're discussing effective resource management for tech startups, right? For tech startups, effective resource management for tech startups. I have two beautiful ladies on the show with me this morning. Let me start with the beautiful lady on my right. Her name is Nonyelim Okolie. She's the Business Operations Lead, Data Science, Nigeria. Good morning, Nonye.
Good morning, Onye.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. And to my left, we have Ireayo Oladunjoye, the head startups Lagos Innovates. Good morning, Ireayo.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here. All right, we have not so much time, so let's get into the conversation. Again, it's effective resource management for tech startups. So let's start with basic, primary knowledge, primary school information, just to break it down so even the layman can understand. When we say resource management, what are we referring to? What does that mean?
Okay, I'll go first. I'll say resource management is finding an effective and efficient way of managing everything that that constitutes to an organization. So it could be your processes, your finances, your inventory, the humans that work for you. So basically that's what your resource management is. What do you need for your business to thrive? Different businesses need different things, but I'm sure we'll discuss the basics for each business. But what resource management is, how do you effectively and efficiently manage the organization's resources for reaching your goals?
Effectively manage organizations' resources for reaching your goals. What about you, Nonya? What do you
great.
think?
So Iria has spoken a lot about it, and then I'll probably just distill the both of them in terms of efficiency and effectiveness. So effectiveness is producing the results that you need for your business, and then efficiency is literally leveraging tools so that you can achieve what you want to achieve with speed, with little resources, and then considering the time, how can you deliver what you want to do faster?
All right. Now we have now that we have established what resource management is, now it's essential that we talk about types of resources. There are different types of resources. What exactly are these resources that you are managing to optimize for efficient and effective use to reach the goals of your organization? No, yeah, that's for you.
Okay, great. So in businesses, there are different types of resources. So we have the money, we have material, we have machine. For technology businesses, we're looking at technology itself, and then we also have time. You have to literally be able to maximize your time and make the best use out of it. And then when you're looking at business structure, you're looking at different types of resources in terms of physical resources. You're also looking at intellectual resources. You're also looking at financial resources. And as Hiraya had mentioned earlier, also the human resources. Because the crux of any business is the quality of the talents that they have that will build that business. Not necessarily the founder, but the entire team who are working together to achieve the objectives of the business. And to distill some of the types of different resources that we have. So when you're looking at the team in terms of efficient resource management, how are you able to drive the team to be able to fulfill their innate potentials? And that would then require you training your staff, even as a business owner, improving your business skills, being able to understand your unit economics that makes up the business. To an extent, also looking at legal aspect of your business and different aspects of your business.
That's interesting. So we've hammered a little bit on the human resource aspect, which we'll be talking about. But let me just ask off the top of my head, of all these resources, which is the most difficult or most challenging to manage?
What I'll say is actually getting the right humans that are working for you is probably the hardest, especially when you're a startup. So, as a startup, you probably don't have a lot of money. You're still trying to maybe get to MVP. You need to be very, very careful. Even if I'm the founder, to get a co-founder or your COO is very, very detrimental because resources play a very, very significant, role in the success of any, should we say, a project. So even when you have a company, you can look at the company as a project, so I wouldn't say difficult to manage, but getting the right people, because as Nonye had mentioned, the talent is important. You don't know it all, and you need to know what your strengths are, and then also leverage on ensuring that you get people that don't, like where you're weak, you've got somebody that's stronger, but that person serves the purpose of the role in which they're playing for the business as a whole. So personally, I think that is probably the most important, getting the right people on board. But then, finance is a problem. Time management can be a problem. Financial resources, you can get when you, let's say for instance, if you raise funds or you've got money, inheritance or whatever it is, deciding where the money goes. What's the priority? Making sure you're making the right decisions for the business. For the business it's a difficult question to answer in terms of what is the most difficult. But that's my take. I would like to hear
what do you think in terms of resources? Which do you think is the most challenging to manage?
Okay, so here I have talked about talent. Another aspect to is finance. A lot of startups run out of cash. A lot of them raise funds and then they're not able to effectively manage the funds. So it's beyond just having the money, but being able to efficiently utilize these resources. So the fact that you have a lot of money doesn't mean you should burn everything. You literally need to strategically invest into different aspects of the business. And so being able to manage your finance means you being able to be accountable to yourself. And aside from being accountable to yourself, you are accountable to all stakeholders of the business. And the different stakeholders in a business involves you yourself, the team members, your stakeholders, your investors, and then your customers, because you owe them quality service. And the only way you do that is if you're able to have the required resources, financial resources, to be able to achieve more. And then I think a lot of businesses don't leverage tools to track and then measure their finances. There are digital tools. So for businesses, there's a platform called Inventory that they can literally use to document their income and then their expenditure. And then there are financial platforms, for instance, Florida Wave, Paystack, that you could literally use to transact, and then at the back end of these softwares you can literally have an archive of income and expenditure without necessarily having to handle cash, and then that helps in terms of accountability and then you being able to receive money from your clients in a very fast and efficient way.
It's great that you already went into tools, because that's going to be my next question. So would you share with us and the listener the different tools that are available for us, so to us, to manage resources? I mean, you've mentioned a couple already. Are there more that we can look out for?
What I would, if I could just add to that, I think depending on the business, we determine the tool. And when you say tool, people might think what is this new program or platform? But little things like Slack, Asana, just so you can, if you had, for instance, if you have Asana and you have a project you're working on, you could assign, Nonya is supposed to do this, and then you assign tasks to her that I'll be notified when Nonya has done it. The whole team will know what's going on. If Nonya is overwhelmed, she can reassign it to you, knowing that you've got the capability to doing this. Nonya had touched on points of why startups fail. Why some startups fail. What you find is when startups start, they have a horizontal leadership, should I say, structure where everybody's hands-on, everybody wants to help, everybody wants to make sure that the startup succeeds, and it's like, we're doing jack of all trades. Oftentimes when you do jack of all trades, you lose sight of what might need to be done and following roles and responsibilities for individuals. So you need to be very careful of that. So when you use tools like Asana, little things like, to us it may seem like nothing, like when you use Outlook to put your meetings in there, so you can spool out the meetings you've had in a month or in a quarter. Little things, but it's like Nonya had mentioned, leveraging on technology is very, very important, because technology reduces the human error that you may have as a business, but you think, you're saving time by not adopting that technology, or that technology might be too expensive for you, and that you still sitting on tools. What businesses should also look at, or should I say startups should look at, is leveraging on shared support system platforms. So instead of saying, you need legal advice, you might not be able to afford an in-house lawyer or an in-house legal team, but there are platforms that you can research and find that you have access to this legal information, but at a reduced cost. One of the programs that we provide at Lagos Innovates is the Workspace Voucher program. Going into a workspace, you'd find that in those workspaces you have shared professional services platforms where you might all need accounting. You don't need to have an in-house accountant. You might have an app that you could use, or a shared, like a firm that you share with other startups businesses, to reduce your overhead cost. Again, managing your finances better, so that you don't burn out your what the money you've raised or the money you have for your business.
Okay, thank you so much, Irayo. Do you have anything to add, Nonya?
Okay, sure. So when you're looking at money, there are financial tools to leverage in terms of record keeping. And then when you're also looking at the materials, your resources, inventory is also very, very important. And then when you're also looking at your talents in terms of your manpower, so tools are available. For instance, you don't have money to probably subscribe for softwares. You could probably leverage your Excel to be able to draft out your standard operating procedures, to be able to identify the key performance indicators of your staff, and then to be able to have some sort of awareness into the measure of success of what you've been able to achieve. And then also in terms of time management, because that's a very critical aspect of running a business. So there are calendars that you could use to put your day-to-day activity. There are 24 hours in a day. What do you want to utilize those 24 hours to do? Analyze different hours for your business, different hours for business, and I think a minimum of 1 hour for personal development also, because you can't give what you don't have. You need to learn the skills that you need to grow your business and then take it to the next level. Absolutely.
Personal development, that's very, very, very important. Thank you for mentioning that, Nonya. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to The Portal on 99.3 Nigeria Info, brought to you in partnership with the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Today we're discussing effective resource management for tech startups. And on the show with me are Nonya Okolie, she's the Business Operations Lead, Data Science Nigeria, and Irayo Oladunjoye, the Head Startups Lagos Innovates. I'm going to open the phone lines now for questions. WhatsApp, of course, is also open so that your messages can come in if you have any questions concerning the topic of discourse this morning. The numbers to call 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. The number for our female callers 01465 7190 01465 7190, and WhatsApp for you to text is 0809 59758 0809 597 5805. We're also currently streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Facebook, you can find us at Nigeria Info 99.3, Nigeria Info 99.3. On YouTube, we are Nigeria Info FM, Nigeria Info FM. If you drop a comment there, a question, I could take it from there, and your question or concern will be attended to. Good morning. Who's on the phone?
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Rashid.
Welcome, Rashid.
I'm calling from Aghogho.
Welcome, Rashid. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry. This question is directed at Lagos Innovates.
All right.
So I keep hearing about the Workspace voucher program. I don't understand it. Can you please let me know what are the requirements to benefit from that program?
Sure, of course. Thank you very much for your concern.
Okay, so the Workspace voucher program is one of the programs under the Lagos Innovator LSETF. And what it is for tech-enabled businesses, just to give you access to infrastructure. Again, this is if we're in line with what we're discussing, which is effective resource management, is this takes away the the worry or the burden of your operational costs for your office. Access to data, access to network, access to a workspace. So basically this is open. We currently actually have the portal open for taking applications, where you apply to get access to one of our 46 co-working spaces across Lagos State. So if you're a business that is tech enabled, you need a workspace. It might just be you, it could be you and your co-founder, it could be you and your team. So depending on what stage you're at with your business will determine where, what voucher you get. It's an application where you would, the application is detailed, where you tell us what your business is, what your traction is so far, what the plan is, how many you've got employed, how many you intend to employ in the future, what problem is the business solving, is there a demand for this in Lagos State. Like you mentioned, you have to be a Lagos State resident to have access to any of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund interventions. But going back to what Rashid had asked for, is this intervention gives you access to infrastructure. So your business, you just started, you don't have any money, you need an office, where people can come and meet you, or where you can get access to data 24/7. You've got access to electricity. We know what the challenges are for businesses in Lagos State and Nigeria as a whole at the moment, and what we're doing is bridging that gap for you, with the hopes of making you thrive in Lagos State in the tech ecosystem.
All right. Thank you so much, Irayo, for speaking to that. So let's talk a little bit about the relationship that is between the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, Lagos Innovates, and Data Science Nigeria. And of course, the partnership that has brought this opportunity forward, talking to us about resource management, an effective one at that.
Okay, so if we just go back, so Lagos State Employment Trust Fund was created by law in 2016. And the mandate is to create an enabling environment for job creation and wealth creation in the MSME ecosystem. And what does this mean? Or how do we do this? We do this through different pillars, where access to finance. So you have businesses that, are not credit, they have no credit history. So you then can't go to the bank to request for a loan because and that could be lack of knowledge. You don't know how to keep your books. You don't know you're meant to keep your books. You don't know you're supposed to be registered. So we have four categories now of loans at LSETF. So you have the nano loans, you have the MES loans, which is micro enterprise startups. You have the ME, which is the micro enterprise loans, and then you have the SME loans, and the different categories and limits to it. And that the loan is just to help your business grow or help you actually start your business. But on the back of it, for resource management, going back to resource management, we have a business support unit at LSETF, and every intervention, all the beneficiaries have access to this. And what does that mean? You get webinars of teaching you how to keep your books. You have access to legal services. You have access to accounting services. So things that you might not have or readily be even aware of, you have access to that. And one of our other pillars is the employability pillar, which is vocational training. So what we're doing is helping you get skilled in vocational training for to be employable. And they're different. There's an array of trainees you can go under. And then you have the Lagos Innovates, and that's why we're here today. The Lagos Innovates program, or pillar of LSETF, we focus on the tech ecosystem. So we're supporting like the founders with the most potential to blow, inverted commas, so make sure that you thrive and you make it. We want unicorns out of Lagos State. We want more Flutterwave. We want more Paga. And what do we do? So speaking to the ecosystem, what we find is lack of access to infrastructure, which is why we have the Workspace Voucher program. You have lack of talent, which is why we have the Idea Hub program. People want to upskill themselves in tech courses but don't have access to finance, so we have access to finance with the student loans. So basically it's like a full circle of trying to make sure that this ecosystem has the support of Lagos State to get where they want to get to. We partner with DSN. Like DSN, we're always ready to help us, and we're ready to help them because we realize that data science is a space in the tech ecosystem that needs to be supported. But I'll let Nonya to speak to specifically Data Science Nigeria.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Tell us
great.
about Data Science Nigeria.
Yeah, so this is also an opportunity to really commend the work that LSETF has been doing over the past years. So I've really seen a lot of young people benefit immensely from the work that LSETF and then Lagos Innovator have been able to do. And then Data Science Nigeria, now known as Data Scientists Network. So it's a network whereby we're able to empower the next million of talents. So our vision is literally to empower over 1 million AI talents, leveraging artificial intelligence to solve social problems. And then our network at the moment spans across Nigeria, across the United Kingdom, and across different countries. We have a mission to change lives, and we've been doing it. And then we've been able, the vision of Data Scientist Network was pioneered by Dr. Lubaya Adekombi, and then an amazing team that have been able to support a lot of young people. So aside from supporting young people to learn future of work related skills, we've also been able to empower businesses to leverage technology to scale their business exponentially. So we partnered also with LSETF to be able to provide a conducive environment for startups to be able to grow their business. It's not great for startups to build their solutions in silos. You need a network of like-minded people to be able to fuel you into building a sustainable business that can stand the test of time. And you can't do that just sitting in your house. You need a conducive environment. So Data Scientist Network at the moment has an artificial intelligence and robotics lab where to an extent you can literally interact with robots. You can also literally turn your ideas into substantial products and services that can bless and impact lives. So LSTF to an extent is supporting in terms of, okay, you have an idea and then you need a conducive space. And so when you are in the hub, definitely you have access to expertise that have been able to go on the journey ahead of you. So to an extent, these resources, this network would help you, and then you would not make mistakes that startups literally make. So your journey to success becomes shorter compared to you working alone and then working in silos, because life is a function of the relationships that you have, and then you make relationships by being in an environment that has people that think like you, and then you
no
move
man
faster.
is an island, right?
Exactly.
That's amazing. I want to visit your lab. That's interesting. Believe it or not, we have less than 2 minutes to go. I know, time flies. But very quickly, please, would you give us your contact details? That is for Data Science and, of course, LSETF Lagos Innovates. So, Anonya, do you want to quickly give us yours? So, Iria, you can quickly give us that of LSETF and Lagos
so, for Data Science, you can always visit www.datasciencenigeria.org. And on social media, Data Scientist Network or Data Science Nigeria. And then obviously on YouTube, there are several resources, thousands of resources. Anyone that wants to go into data science, artificial intelligence, leverage technology to make significant change in any sector, they can always visit the YouTube pages.
Thank you so much. Iria, you're less than 30 seconds. Can you give it to us in 15?
So for LSETF, if you want to catch us, you can catch us on all social media handles. That's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and that's LSETF. Our website is www.lsetf.ng. For Lagos Innovates, we have a website which is www.lagosinnovates.ng, and our telephone number is 0170000969.
All right, thank you so much. We have to go. The ads are creeping up. Thank you so much for being here. Up next, music and moments. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
And chilled Sprite to take cool body.
Give your favorite pepper meal that extra vibe with a chilled bottle of Sprite, now in a new bottle. Enjoy the refreshing lemon lime taste of Sprite no matter the heat.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.